Alright, so I've never really done a video on what the Huliganverse actually is. I say, why not? So the Huliganverse is pretty much a space where a lot of my ideas that I have kinda can live and be improved upon. Because I was kinda always running into an issue where I had these ideas, right? And I would never really publish them. I would never move from concept, or maybe I went from idea to concept, but I never really put it into a form where it could be something useful, right? Or something playable, or something that would be able to show somebody else. That's where it kind of came from. And it still doesn't have all the ideas yet. It just kind of has like some of my ideas. So like these are like some of the game ideas. I haven't really put the prototype out for the tech support 1999. It's like a game around old technology. So you know the big back TV, the old VCR and other stuff like that. Like you would be the person repairing those and having to like plug them in, and kind of like a puzzle game in that way. So I have like that's it. Pretty much I have like close to like 100 different ideas, but this is kind of just a start to kind of have them in one place to kind of make it shown. So the next one is pack the barrel. So what pack the barrel is, alright, in Jamaica we have a culture of barrel shipping, and when I say barrel shipping, let me try to. Alright, yeah. So barrel shipping. So I even did a couple videos. The game idea came out of this too. Because I made the video around barrel shipping, the worst barrel foods, and I said, you know, why not build out something? Because this is like a prototype of a much larger game idea I have. So, barrel shipping, pretty much packing up of foods and like other stuff in a blue barrel or a paper barrel and shipping them from the US or Canada or somewhere else to Jamaica, right? So I have a couple other game ideas also around the concept, but pretty much this one, let me just kind of show you, so I'm not just yapping and not actually showing. So I have a couple of versions on the website you can go through and look at the play and see the kind of development that has happened over time. So like you can play, and kind of jump over. So play the current build or jump through the early milestones. So the synopsis. So Pack the Barrel is an arcade packing puzzle game, Tetris, right? Where you're pretty much packing the Jamaican care items like food, school goods, hygiene, soft protector, so you're gonna have stuff that are like hard and then soft stuff that can be broken. So you need to kind of pack them in a way that makes sense and won't like break everything. So alright, so you look at this, so this is what the core from version 1 was. Version 2, bar presentation looks a bit different, like level framing, how the menu flows, and other wider play area and all that. So what I try to do for all of the games and stuff, I try to have like a breakdown so you can kind of see where I'm at with like the current build versus where the build is coming from. So kind of get the idea and can actually follow the story of the progression. So so even let's say we go out and play version 1. Alright, so you see there how it looks here. So if we click how to play, you're gonna get an idea of what to do here. So stack the items, clear the lines, make space, keep heavy items low, as in lowering the order, because if you put the heavy items on top of things like say blender right here, it's gonna cause some issues. So just kind of work on that. Alright, so let me just kind of go and just do a little playthrough here. So we see level 1. Alright, so the first barrel. So I'll say, this is like the prototype I'm still kind of working on to move beyond it. Because I'm thinking I want to add, after this part is kind of fully locked in, I want to also add the ability to be able to um, like do it, like even the loading and unloading from the wharf, from the Jamaica side, and also like do the port that you're gonna be sending them off, or maybe even a shipping company, and then from there now the whole unloading, and maybe even the driving part to bring it home. So yeah, alright, let's just kind of play here. So in this version, you see the pieces are kind of smaller. I just move them over, kind of pack the bottom out. Alright, so one thing I want to add to is like the sounds and effects. So we already have kind of the effects and everything, but the sounds, like something maybe similar to how the um what's the thing called works. Candy Crush kind of has like the good backing and all that. Yeah, so something similar to that. It's where so kind of give me an idea for how I'd love to kind of develop. Because there's so many like kind of puzzles you can easily like have in this kind of way. Um, what do you call this video? Maybe playing my games until you fall asleep, or show and tell till you fall asleep, something like that. Yeah, so it's pretty much the packing. So it should give you like a clearance too. Hold on, let me just. Alright, so you see, this one is like really simple, and I'm seeing some errors right here. I need to fix those. But you see, fragile save, damage, no damage, appliances are safe, and pretty much it goes through the different levels up to where. Alright, so let me go to the current. Save again. Alright, go to the current build. Alright, start again. Alright, so you might not be able to tell, but there are like minor differences between these two. Um, so what you can also do, or what I want to add, maybe add like different size barrels, maybe, because you can always choose like a wider barrel or maybe like a fatter barrel or something. So depending on what you want to do from there. But alright, let me just kind of go over to the next thing here. Alright, so toilet run. Alright, so you know how when you're almost home sometimes, or when you're driving home, it's like your body kind of has a Bluetooth that connects to your toilet. That's pretty much where the concept of toilet run came from. The whole um, wanting to get home really quickly because you don't want to mess up your car and yourself. And on the way, you're pretty much running into people that you haven't seen in like your childhood friend that you haven't seen in many years. You're running into that person. You're running into your pastor from church. You know that they want to talk and catch up and pastor wants to pray for you and all that. So let me just kind of click on this and let's kind of explore this a bit. So it is playable. This one though, it's kind of let me just show you. I don't know what so it's a childhood friend, like the cars and all this stuff. So hopefully you make it home in time. If not, gonna be a problem. Alright, so there's some error here. So it looks like how um the we had like the menu for pack the barrel. There are other versions that should show up for toilet run also. So We need to fix that. All right, let's kind of move on. Probably go bloodlines. All right, so I'm from Jamaica, right? And from the countryside of Jamaica. So goats. If you even look at my shorts that I do on my channel, I'm just gonna show you. Um, um, let's go over the shorts. All right. So if you look at a lot of my shorts, you'll see different animals show up. So you'll see dogs, and you'll see goats. You'll even see like fish sometimes. So it just depends on what I feel like filming for that day or what story I want to tell using that medium. But Hungry Goats pretty much came out of the idea of always kind of wanted to do a game around goats and the whole breeding and put into a nice little packaging. And you'd have some kind of like how the snake games were back in the day when you just have a snake that goes around and just eats the little thing, the, the thing in the snake game, and then they kind of move around until they kind of get themselves hurt. So this is kind of my love letter to that. And since we still have the same different um, versions here. Let me see if this opens up properly. I don't know why everything's showing bad now. So this was the original build. This is just the bare bones version. Um, no, nothing added yet. So let me just kind of show you. So you have like the yard, goat, king, Nubian, queen, the boar. Alright, so let me just say that let's just select the yard goat here. And what they can do, like the snake game, they can do raids. So the raid now is when the goat would go into like a farmer's field, and then they would just like eat down the entire thing and then try to leave quickly. So let's just kind of do that. You see, as well, this is version 1. So he's going and the farmer hasn't spotted him yet. And while he's eating, he's getting bigger, and then he tries to leave. Alright, that's we caught. So we ate the crop, we got caught. So let's return. Alright, so let me try again. Okay, transform stage 3. Alright, so we hit the 12. Alright, the gate is open. So I press E. Alright, escape. Alright, so let's go back now and let's go back to the version hub. I'll show you where we kind of at. So I've added like the sprites have been updated. Even added like an interbreeding system now, so you can actually breed 2 types of goats. I'm kind of show you, and now you can see the difference. Let's go to goat yard. So you see yard goat is selected. Click on Nubian Queen here. So while you're playing, the points and everything will allow you to unlock the boar, and then for the breeding, you can breed the 2 of them. You can add a name for the baby goat, the kid, right? And you see like a price also. So let's say we want to name the kid Yard Queen. Sorry, to my laptop is kind of not working too good. Yard Queen, right? Let's say we breed. There we go. So you see like a mix. Alright, it's Yard Queen. And do a rename, and do the details. You see the strengths, heat resistant, because it's a crossbreed, right? And alright, so let's do a raid, and let's select Nubian this time. Let's do the backyard raid. See if this actually loads up or it's stuck. Alright, good. So we've added even like the farm, little crops and stuff. We change the farm also. So you see the goat is kind of leveling up. Alright, then now after once we've hit the amount, we're still at 9. Alright, run to the gate, run to the gate, run to the gate. Alright, so you see All right. So and the thing is with this, I wanted to kind of add it to the Play Store. It's close to where it would need to be able to be added, but I'm gonna need to do a couple of things more. Um, Maybe add in a couple more of the goats, because anyways, it's 4 of the 8 so far with the one that you add the um, yard queen goat here. So you can reset it, competition, other things you can always have be added to the later versions of the game. All right, just gonna move on, but this other concept, another one I'm gonna show you is community dog. So community dog, pretty much similar in the sense of another Jamaicanized concept. So this is like a Jamaican community dog, and their main goal is to eventually get adopted. So I haven't put in the final storyline part as yet. It's more in just like a world of community roaming type setting. Well, let me just kind of show you. It's a 2D isometric game. So you see here, it's a isometric survival life game about neighborhood dog roaming a bright Jamaican district, exploring lanes, yards, shops, school grounds, football field, all over. There's a walkabout, eat, and enjoy yourself. So um, the thing is, a couple years ago, there was this thing that was circulating in the Jamaican news about these dogs, over 100 dogs that got adopted and sent over to Canada. So I wanted to, it gave me the idea to kind of build this out, where the dog eventually gets to that level. So I'm just gonna hop into level 1 here. All right, so you see the dog, you see the people around. So if you look in the corner here, you can see what are the bars that you're working with, and you see the objective on the other side. So you just want to make sure that he's eating. Once he's eating, then he's good. Um, for the respect, just make him do the sniff, bark, bark, and see it's after the bark, so it's not like a thing where he's aggressively trying to reach the person that's nearby. If that makes sense. So another thing too, um, what I want to do, I want to add like different levels. I've made like shorts talking about this game. Let me kind of show you where we're at now. I have some other versions that I haven't uploaded as yet to Huliganverse as yet. So I'm up to like version 6, I'd say now. So alright, look at this now. So kind of added, so you see there's a lot of errors here with the road and stuff. So I've managed to kind of fix the road, but here's the problem now. The roads are quote unquote fixed in the latest update that I haven't uploaded or onboarded to the website as yet. But there's another issue. The roads now in the newest build are too perfect. So if you know anything about communities, especially Jamaican communities, the roads, not all the time, but like the rural ones, some of the time are not perfect. So in version 5, because as I said, version 4 here. In version 5, the roads are going to be perfect, but we're going to have to pretty much damage them up a bit. And maybe by version maybe 6 or 7, when I want to add like missions and stuff where you can actually do more than just walk around and eat. Also want to update like the different food things that are in the different locations. Some minor fixes too, like with the jerk guy here, we're seeing some errors with the way that he's kind of glitching. Otherwise, yeah, it's a pretty clean concept. I've even actually built out another game upon this what do I call it now? Upon the back of this game, if that makes sense. So I'm using the same assets to kind of build out another game. If you've watched the shorts, I've put a video on the um, phone uh, on the game on well the concept around the game of okay, where's my phone or I can't find my phone or well it's called phone panic, right? So yeah, constantly working on the next thing. I do suffer from shiny object syndrome also. So um, yeah. So he also done like apps also. So cancel vulture, pretty much an app that helps you to kind of cancel or understand how your subscription mix is kind of affecting your wallet and what you can actually do to kind of you know not just save some money but actually claw back or strip back and maybe find some if not kind of cheaper alternatives what I currently subscribe to, but also find like maybe some free version if they are available, right? So all right, let me just kind of show you this. What I can do could always upload a couple more of the ideas here, but for now, all right, I'm just gonna briefly give you. I'll show you this one. I'm just gonna give you an example of what these do. So, picnic story. All right. So you know how if you're somebody that watches like cartoons or anime or animated shows, if you wanna separate them or delineate them, um, picnic story kind of allows you to create a story around you being the main character or a child creating a story where they're the main character and they get to pretty much build out that story, or you can build off of them as like a gift, and then they will be able to work or experience themselves through the lens of a story. So I've tested the concept in real life, and this is where it's kind of evolved into. I haven't uploaded like a link to it as yet, but I do have the, let's say, the semi-ready prototype that I could upload, but that's not fully ready yet. The other one here is Smile Route. So before this whole thing with the raising of the prices for flights and stuff, I had an idea where, all right, you know how people typically want to get like dental work done, especially like in the US or UK or Canada. I had an idea that I wanted to put or create an app where you could like um, plan out your dental work, but that would be done in Jamaica. So, so like typically the dental work is gonna be cheaper in Jamaica, and you would be able to like instead of paying for it arm and a leg if in your own country like the US or you know US mainly or like Canada or so, you could come back to Jamaica and or come to Jamaica if you like for the diaspora people that have left and you know um gone to work overseas or gone to live overseas and may come back for a vacation, they can plan their trip around getting their dental work done. So instead of them maybe coming back, because it's already a thing where people come back to get dental work done. So why not give them the option where they could come back to Jamaica and uh, plan it just like how you hop on Airbnb and plan your trip. You pretty much this time instead be planning your trip around your dental operation or whatever you want to get done. So if it's a lighter thing you want to get done, you plan it and you understand like how many days typically this takes. You could even like upload. Why am I going so deep in this? Alright, let me just kind of show you. Alright, so it's on smilerock.net. As you see, it's a prototype for now, but pretty much it allows you to kind of plan your trip around um, the dental appointment you want to get. So you pretty much be dynamically be able to get everything done in the platform natively. So you'll be able to plan the trip, the transport and the stay. You'll be able to estimate your journey because maybe it is a bit more or less, but like a general estimate of what everything would cost. Also like trip support. Maybe you're going alone and you want to get like somebody to like help you to kind of navigate if that makes it a bit easier for you. So it kind of just helps you to plan that whole journey and makes it so to be a bit easier on you to get your dental work done rather than you having to either pay for it as a much more astronomical cost over in your country if you're from US or Canada, as I said, or if you're a Jamaican diaspora person that's coming back, you don't have to like be calling around and wondering, if I'm able to get this done in time. You'll pretty much be able to plan your route around getting that done, right? So I did mention I'm going to show you the other project here, cancel voucher. How long have I been talking right here? All right. So cancel voucher, as I said, this one pretty much it's a cancel voucher, not .net. So when I was building out the prototype for this, it just so happens that I wanted to call it unsubscribe.io, right? That it pretty much would help you to unsubscribe from any app or any subscription that is pretty much wasting your money because maybe it's not showing up as you sign up for it that it's going to cost you as much as it is costing you like per year or even at the end of like 5 years. But what if there was a place or a website or an app that kind of shows you how it would break down over time and what you could do to kind of help to put some of that money back into your pocket. So that's what this is kind of trying to do. Well, not trying, it does do this. So you can look at like what's the hardest to like unsubscribe from, lowest value that you're getting, hardest to cancel, as I mentioned, such as like Planet Fitness. Amazon Prime can be a bit difficult, takes around 12 minutes. Planet Fitness is around 24 minutes. Adobe can be a nightmare. But yeah, I can always go dive deeper into each, but this is a sign, you can look at your current subscription. So you just click on the ones that you're currently on. So I can always like add maybe more because ChatGPT Plus. There's also ChatGPT Pro, so there's different levels of subscriptions also. So like the tiered list. So based on the ones that you are on currently, you'll be able to like choose and then you'd see how much is actually costing you per month or per. Alright, let me show you. So you see here, you can see the damage. Then you can look at the long-term view. So that's a 1 year, 5 year, 10 years. All right. So you can see what your current mix is, and like it's gonna give you like pick the bones option. So I don't know, it's like just like a vulture would kind of pick up the bones and get all the meat off. Yeah, I think about things like that. So so you can look at the Disney. So you can kind of break it down, look at how often you currently use it. Just be ruthless and try to stop the drainage of your bank account, pretty much. So if you use Netflix rarely or never, or if you're unsure, you just click on that and then you move on to the next one. And then after that, now you'll be able to like tell if you really need this or not and show me what to cancel. So there's also like a Hall of Fame, or sorry, Hall of Shame. That kind of shows you what is the current hardest subscription to cancel, and like Vulture Watch. So like giving you evidence-backed cancellation guides, fee warnings, purchase price alerts, consumer education, and all this stuff. Yeah, as I mentioned, so I do have other ideas, and maybe they'll be up on the Huliganverse maybe soonish. For the games, I am planning to bring one of these onto Play Store if they allow it, because they have the rules and regulations also. But we're gonna see if they do. I never mentioned what Fruit Run is. Fruit Run pretty much is Jamaica's answer to what Mario does. So it's from a Jamaican context though, so you're pretty much running and collecting fruit and jumping and dealing with dogs and goats that want to hit you down and stuff. But yeah, that's the video done. Yapping for now. See you in the next one. Alright. Hopefully, are you asleep or are you still here? Let me know down below. If anything you found interesting or anything I'm gonna break down a bit more with its own video, let me know. And sorry if I yap too much or if I stumbled a bit too much. This was just spur of the moment video. But yeah, I may put some other stuff on here because I even have my own version of video editor that I'm working on. It's still not complete yet, but it's not like these, still kind of broken, but works enough that I could like show you how it works and stuff. But yeah. That's the video, and see you in the next one, isn't it? Yeah.